investment success stories that buttress the fact that the Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit is fast becoming the surest brand in attracting diaspora investment into the country. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, SAN-GCON, ably represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Boss Mustafa, made this assertion while delivering the keynote address at the 4th Diaspora Investment Summit in Abuja. The Diaspora this week will bring you the opening ceremony of the virtual event, which saw over 2,000 participants. This is your favorite program, The Diaspora, and I am your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Please stay tuned. Now enjoy the details of the summit.
The Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit has been held annually over the past 3 years, and in this period, we note that it has incrementally been successful in attracting diaspora investment into local businesses in the country. There have been a series of investment success stories that buttress the fact that the Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit is fast becoming one of the surest platforms for attracting diaspora investment into the country. We are not relenting in our quest of attaining the goal of the bright and prosperous Nigeria for all Nigerians, as we just unveiled the 2021 to 2025 National Development Plan last month. The focus of the administration in recovering and sustaining the economy has not changed, but has been amplified with additional goals, such as 1, putting the economy on the path of increasing per capita income to avert the past trend of higher population compared to the real GDP growth. 2, broad-based economic growth of about 3.8% on average, with non-oil GDP of 4% and oil GDP of 2.1%. 3, a more competitive non-oil sector and a more robust and resilient economy that is less dependent on the oil sector. 4, increasing employment generation with a projected increase of about 25 million, with 10 million from direct growth impact and 50 million from skill acquisition and other interventions. The projected real GDP growth during 2021 and 2025 would thus be sufficient to ensure that 10 million people do not fall into poverty. And 5, an additional number of 25 million people will be taken out of poverty, ensuring that poverty rates will be at 31% by 2025 compared to 40% in 2020. This year's summit, with the theme Diaspora Partnership and Linkages for Post-COVID Economic Growth, is very apt, as one of the top priorities of this administration in the post-COVID era is to reposition the economy of the country, which we believe is achievable with the partnership of the diaspora. The diaspora over the decades have been known as senders of remittances, which have continued to surpass oil revenue, translating to sometimes as high as 6% of gross domestic product. Beyond their well-known role as senders of remittances, however, the diaspora also promote trade and foreign direct investment, create businesses, and spur entrepreneurship, as we have been witnessing since the inauguration of this summit in 2018.
It is important to note that the federal government of Nigeria is in support of all investment initiatives, and President Muhammad Buhari himself has consistently called and encouraged Nigerians in diaspora to key into the listed sectors of investment for the economic development of our fatherland. These sectors include, but are certainly not limited to healthcare, agriculture, telecommunications, manufacturing, education, real estate, and others. This summit, I hope, will further bring about constructive interface with investors from different fields and calls on all Nigerians in diaspora at home and foreign investors seeking opportunities for investment in Nigeria to key into the summit as a way of ameliorating the economic situation of the country, which has been adversely impacted by the global pandemic.
We are here today talking about what Nigerians in diaspora can do, move from remittance to investment. And I'm just going to quickly point out a few places where I think we can do business together through the Ministry of Works and Housing. The Managing Director of the Federal Bank has discussed what is possible in terms of diaspora investment in housing and how mortgages will work. The only thing I would like to add to that is that we have a product called the Cooperative Housing Scheme, and this is a scheme by which we encourage people, groups such as those in diaspora or subsets of them, to form themselves into cooperatives, and if you do so, you are likely to then be able to get funding from the Federal Mortgage Bank to finance not only the development of your own house, but also the mortgage to pay for it. And I'm sure that the Managing Director will provide more detail, because this platform does not permit me to do so because of the constraints of time.
We're collaborating with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to start what we're calling the Diaspora Mortgage Scheme. The MD will say a bit about it and introduce it. It's only going to make it possible for the diaspora to have access to some facilities and own your own home. And we're also having the first Diaspora Housing Fair, which you will be opening for us today. I think it's actually, I'm proud of what we have out there. Let me sing our praises even before you say it. So that platform has been exciting to Nigerians abroad, a platform to own your own home. So we're working Federal Mortgage Bank and the Federal Housing Authority. The FHA program is still in the offing. And that stage I want to thank Mr. Fashola, our dear Minister of Works, for the tremendous support for making this happen, making it seamless for Nigerians abroad.
We don't mind tooting our own horn to declare that we are immensely pleased of our achievements in providing a platform for the diaspora to give back home by investing in local businesses in the country. We believe in developing our own local areas, our own communities.
Not so fast. Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down.
Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging, Listen, Alenko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. You know, I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alenko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
From all the things that you have seen, Nasarawa is fortunate to have the longest boundary actually with the federal capital. So Nasarawa has the market, and I love the topic. You know, we should move away. A lot of us spend so much time in remitting funds to people back home. A lot of those people don't know how hard Nigerians actually work. When you go to the medical center in Houston and see Nigerians, doctors working as nurses and the rest of that, some driving taxis, doing that, yet Nigerians go through so much to survive. And we send that money to Nigeria, and sometimes you don't know where that money is going to, and it's very painful. So, and it is time for Nigerians to start deviating from that angle, of doing this down to this direction of investing.
We have achieved a lot in Nigeria, and we have seen returns on investment in the last 6 years across 36 states of Nigeria and in other places where the returns are very, very generous. We have seen returns on the dollar in excess of 20%. And Nigeria is one of the few countries today where you can achieve that type of return. In fact, at the opening ceremony of the Nigerian Economic Summit, Dr. Doyin Salami, the chairman of the Nigeria's Economic Advisory Council, mentioned that there is about $17 trillion in the world today that is earning negative return. So our diaspora should also help in drawing attention to those fund managers, those sovereign wealth funds, those private equity firms, those money market managers, those insurance firms and pension funds in places where they domicile, that here is a country that can give positive return for their investment, whether it is in infrastructure, in social development, or in other forms of investment.
We see the business environment witnessing a global restructure of business mechanism, a change from global value chain to regional value chain development. And this is one area that investors in diaspora can also take advantage to establish in Nigeria as a regional hub for value chains. We also see in the business environment an increased application of information and communication technology in all aspects of business and living.
Sports and entertainment is the place to invest. This is all the way to market our country. This is where we should put our eyes in. How many of you love Nollywood? Am I Nigerian? We all love Nollywood, right? Nollywood is what showcases our culture. Okay, how many of you love Afrobeat? You guys love that. How many of you love sports? Do you have any Arsenal fans here? Chelsea, Manchester United, and the rest? Kano Pillars. Give them a round of applause here. So you see that we have you mentioned Kano Pillars, but you see why we look at Manchester United, we look at Chelsea. Do you know that there's a lot of money going to those countries when we go there for tourism? That shows the potential that sports have. So if we have Enyimba, we have Kano Pillars, we're able to invest. What do you say? Enugu Rangers. What do you say? Off shooting stars. Good. If we have all these diasporas investing in this sector, you will see that people will be flying from around the world to come and see our great talents exhibit their talents, to a global stage. So it's time for us to come back. We see people like Olumide Oyedeji building basketball camps. We see OBA Zekwesi. We see a lot of people like Obina Ekeze investing in this sector. So you too can come back and invest in sports. Our basketball male and female teams, our football teams are dominated by who? Diasporas. Am I lying? They're dominated by diasporas. So we need to invest in this sector.
Why should you invest in healthcare? Healthcare remains one of the largest and most vital industries in the world. Across the world, people are healthier, they work there, and they live longer today. This advancement in health quality of life are made possible by the economic growth and development, as well as by improvements in health technologies. Great opportunities exist for future investment in key supporting industries such as private hospitals, we've heard about some today, health insurance, We've heard about that today. Specialized medical devices. We've heard about that also. Pharmaceutical and healthcare services. So why should you invest in Africa? I can tell you that Africa is currently the second most populated continent in the world, with over 1 billion people. Although the life expectancy in sub-Saharan Africa varies by sub-region, it is still consistently among the lowest in the world. Nationally, regionally, and globally, there has been growth in political will and commitment to deliver more resources to the health sectors in Africa and to improve the way these resources are being used.
Not so fast. Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down. Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging,
Listen, Nico. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. You know, I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
The Post-Service Housing Development Limited, popularly known as Nigeria Army Estates. Like you can see, we have our estates all over the Federation. Post-Service Housing Development Estate is an organ of the Nigeria Army to provide an affordable housing to the Nigeria Army officers, soldiers, and the general public. That is to say, we have to provide an affordable housing for our personnel, after which we have served the Nigeria Army for 35 years. We need a home to retire into, like our senior citizens in the public sector. So that was why this concept of having an affordable housing to our men of the Nigerian Army come up. Since 1996, it has been until today. We have our estates all over the Federation. We have in 38 estates across the Federation of Nigeria. We have in Ojo, Lagos. We have in Ibejuleki, it's ongoing. We have in Osogbo, if you know Osogbo very well. And then we have in Oyo State, LALA. We have in Abuja. We have our smart estates, that Army Smart View estates in Life Camp. We all know Life Camp very well. That's one of our estates. And then we also have our lovely home in Idu. Shortly, we only went to Warri. We have our estate in Warri, Efurum. Our estates are known all over the Federation. Other investment aspects of post-service housing estates is, in order to beat down the cost of housing in Nigeria, we also went into acquiring a quarry for the army. And after that, we also have our cement industry, where we partner directly with Dangote, and also have our artisans. Most of these things are being built up together in order to bring down the cost of housing that everyone can be able to afford. That is the priority, that is the vision of the Nigerian Army, for us to provide an affordable housing estate to everyone that is interested in the estate.
It's also very important to note that our colleagues, our friends and family who have gone to other lands see it as very important to have homes back here in Nigeria. And we feel that before you start talking about investments, you really think about your home, you think about houses. There's a huge desire for Nigerians in diaspora to own homes back in Nigeria. And the good thing is that NIDCOM has identified this need and decided, as the big brother of Nigerians in diaspora, led by Honorable Mrs. Abike Dabiri, has decided to set up a real estate platform through which Nigerians can invest in real estate. Nigerians in diaspora can invest in real estate back home without hassles. And that's the reason we are here today. And it was flagged off, the real estate platform was flagged off by the housing fair, a very successful housing fair that held along with the NDIS this year. The good thing is that in setting up this real estate platform, Nigerians in diaspora who have literally had the trust gap, the major reason that they do not invest in real estate in Nigeria is because there's been a trust gap. Many of them have been burnt, many of them have had bad experiences, so have decided, you know what, I'll just shut down. I won't invest in homes, I won't invest in Nigeria back home. But for most of them, the easiest first step to get them interested in investments back home is to let them have homes in Nigeria. And the trust gap now needs to be filled. Who's best suited to fill it? NIDCOM has decided to step into these shoes and set up a system whereby they can invest in Nigeria with their two eyes closed on the real estate sector.
We're a minerally resource state. We're the 5th largest producer of oil and gas in the country in terms of what we have and what is currently ongoing. As a sub-national, we have the largest deposit of bitumen in Africa and the 3rd in the world. We are number 1 in cocoa production, number 1 in cassava, number 3 in rubber. We have large deposits of kaolin and silica sand, both for ceramic and for glass. We have 75 kilometers of contiguous Atlantic Ocean, which is where we have a proposed deep sea port. But what that portends is that there's a lot of opportunities in the blue economy. So we're asking for the diasporans to take advantage of that.
That we have some cottage rice milling machines. But you see, those people who want to come in to do rice milling, the Gabarmari and the 3rd basin skip 2 has over 200,000 hectares of land for the production of rice alone. So this one can also be commercialized by our brothers living abroad to come in to do that. The Sudanese that are here, they will not just carry their bag and come into Maiduguri because for the fun of coming into it. They know what is obtained there. Nigeria is one of the greatest countries in the world with a land mass of over 973,000 square kilometers, out of which 909,000 is land with about 13,687 waters. So I think this is a great country that is going to be greater than any country in the world. The only thing is that we have to put our policies and acts together so that our peers that have flown and led us, we will catch up with them.
Many thanks to the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the governors, ministers, Our Lady Diaspora, NIDCOM staff and management, as well as our global contributors and participants. Thank you for staying all through the program. We hope it's been worth your while. And in case you have anything to share with us, please do not hesitate to do so, as we expect feedback on our show. Remember, you can reach us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, on Instagram at NIDCOM_gov, on our YouTube page at NIDCOM_gov, and on our website at www.nidcom.gov.ng. You can also join us on DSTV at NTA Network and NTA International on Tuesday at 3:30 p.m., on NTA International on Friday at 3:30 a.m., on NTA International on Saturday at 11 a.m., and on NTA News 24 on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. You can also join us on WAP TV on Thursdays at 9 a.m. and on WTV on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 a.m. And you can join us on Ben TV London at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. I remain your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. See you next time.